Scary Movie, or Scary Movie 6 as it officially is the 6th installment in the Scary Movie franchise, and the first one to feature the returning core 4. That's right, you got Marlon and Sean Wayans, Anna Faris, and Regina Hall. They're all back. This movie follows the trope we've seen in every scary movie. It is a parody, it is a spoof of horror movies. It makes fun of them, breaks them down to the bone marrow, and tries to bring us some laughs. The Naked Gun, which we got last year, was probably as great as you can do a spoof comedy. I mean, it was fucking hilarious. The actors completely bought into the silliness and owned it and crushed it. And it had a simple but fun story that completely worked for it. I watched that movie again recently. I was still dying laughing. So because of the success of The Naked Gun, and when I saw the marketing for this scary movie, not just the fact that the original cast was coming back, but the way they were marketing it. You know, it seemed like it was gonna be very edgy, very dark, very unfiltered. Like there's no safe spaces, everyone's gonna get offended. I saw that and I was like, this is what I want. This is my type of humor if they can pull it off. So I'll start off with this. The 4 returning cast members, I think they all do a really good job here, and I do love the chemistry between them all. They all clearly work well together, and they completely play into the silliness that does come with scary movies. Like, they're over the top, they're completely eccentric, they're completely ridiculous human beings, but the way they're able to do it, you look at them in a sense, I'm like, yeah, you guys are just meant for this franchise. Like, part of you has to feel the reason Scary Movie 5 was such a disaster is because none of these people were featured into it. At least 3 and 4, Regina Hall and Anna Faris were still a part of it, so those movies still had something going for it in that sense. Now you get all 4 of them back, they play the characters we've loved seeing them play in these scary movies, and they crush it at that. When it gets to the new cast members, the new characters they bring into this movie, I mean, I'll be honest, these people were pretty forgettable. But honest to God, I didn't get a lot of laughs from these new characters, and frankly, these actors who are playing these new characters, I question how meant for spoof movies they are. Now granted, spoof movies are a tough genre to really break into because, like, yeah, you gotta be silly, but you can't be too over the top. You can't be over the top to the point where it's just dumb. And these people, if I'm being honest, when they were overacting, it got a little bit ridiculous. When they're acting very serious or disturbed or scared, I was kind of more rolling my eyes. I'm just like, you're completely overcooking it at this point. And I'm not even gonna say that these people are incapable of acting. I just don't think they did a very good job here. Now granted, a person out there once said, comedy is the hardest genre to act in. People said, if you can crush it in comedy, you can be a great actor anywhere. The fact that these people weren't able to do that well here, it doesn't mean they're not necessarily good actors, it just means like maybe this isn't the line of work for them, or this genre isn't. But it's like this, when it comes to spoof movies, when it comes to comedy, we all want to laugh. That's what we go into a comedy hoping for the most. We all want to laugh. Is this movie funny? Did it make me laugh? Well, there are some moments in this movie, I shit you not, I was crying laughing, I was falling out of my chair, my sides were killing me. To the point where it got pretty uncontrollable. I couldn't stop, the audience around me, everyone was having a great time. There are some jokes that are pretty dark, pretty fucked up, and I thought they were hilarious. However, at the same time, for every great joke that was killing me in this movie, there was probably another joke that didn't really hit with me. Now I will say, some of the jokes that didn't hit with me were making other people in the audience laugh pretty hard. So again, that's probably what this comes down to. Certain jokes might work more for you than others will. Because this movie does touch on all different kinds of humor. Like, you got your morbid humor, your offensive humor, your dark humor, your gross out humor, your raunch, your, you know, fart jokes. Pretty much every kind of joke you can find in a comedy, you're gonna find it in Scary Movie. So yeah, definitely understand yourself. What type of humor do you like? What type you don't like? It's all pretty much here. But what this movie does that definitely works against it is it will take a lot of the jokes that they use, and as a result, they will milk it. Like, they will really overdo the joke to the point where it's not really funny anymore, and you'd kind of like them to move past it. Which again, if they are milking a joke that really works for you for a little longer, you're still gonna get some laughs out of it. But at the same time, if it's a joke that doesn't really work for you, you're kind of gonna be rolling your eyes a little bit. But yeah, did The Naked Gun recycle a few jokes more than once? It did, but it spaced them out in such a way and it timed them in such a way that the joke never really got stale. It was effective every time because it was done in a certain situation that just ended up always working. Like, this movie will crack a joke that might be effective, give you about a 2-minute interval, if that, crack that joke again, rinse and repeat. And yeah, I'm gonna say this much as well. The story in Scary Movie doesn't really work. And the problem with these scary movies have always generally been its execution of a story. Typically, Scary Movie is supposed to make fun of all scary movies, but they need at least one that's like the main storyline they're gonna poke fun of. In the original Scary Movie, it was Scream. In this new Scary Movie, it's once again Scream, but it's meant to be more like Scream 5. So that's, you could say, the main storyline this movie goes for. However, it pokes fun at several other horror movies of recent. You know, Smile, Sinners, The Substance, Halloween. They all get their little jabs as well. The problem is, when you try to interweave that with the main storyline that they're trying to go for, it doesn't really feel balanced. It feels very out of place, and because of that, it took me out of the movie a lot. Comedy, I think, is better when you just have a simple, straightforward storyline that you just stick with and follow. Like, I almost feel like this movie would have done a little bit better for itself if it maybe just stuck as a parody to Scream and didn't try to throw in all the other horror movies into it as well. Now, granted, it wouldn't make it a Scary Movie necessarily, but I still think it would have been more effective or focused as a movie. You know what this movie is? It's a lot like an episode of a sketch comedy show, like Saturday Night Live, or, oh, better yet, In Living Color, which was created by the Wayans brothers. And yes, I did see that show, and it is great. But it is like an episode of In Living Color in that sense. You have a bunch of sketches, most of which aren't even really connected with each other, and how you feel about all the sketches collectively is how you'll feel about that episode. Some of these sketches might have you gut-busting laughing your ass off, and other sketches just aren't gonna work for you at all. And the sketches that make you laugh, you're gonna love seeing them. The ones you're not feeling it, you're gonna can't wait for them to be over. You'll be eagerly waiting for them to be over. You guys knew what I meant. So yeah, that's kind of the best way I would sum up Scary Movie for you guys. Don't maybe view it as much as a movie. View it more as an episode of sketch comedy. So all in all, Scary Movie, it definitely has its moments. The core four being back in this movie, it's great to see them back. I love their chemistry. I love seeing them play these characters. The new characters kind of did next to nothing for me. Some of them provided a couple laughs here and there, but nothing super memorable. There's some comedy that is gut-busting, absolutely riot-inducing. It's hilarious. And there's some that just completely misses for me. It's definitely not very cohesive. It definitely could have been focused up a little bit better. It feels kind of all over the place. And in the end, I think you just really need to know yourself going into this movie. If you've been a fan of the scary movies, if you're a fan of spoof comedy, if you can handle the idea that you will go into this movie and certain jokes might land with you. In fact, think of it like this. Maybe you're a very easy laugh and a lot of jokes in this movie will hit with you, in which case you might have a great time with this movie. On the other hand, understand yourself, and this humor is not really for you. This movie could feel like a really long slog that you can't wait to get out of because you're not going to find it funny, you're just going to find it dumb. But for me personally, I'm going to give Scary Movie a 5 out of 10 because I did feel about half this movie was legitimately hilarious and worth watching.
How much you want?
Half.
Yeah, I don't think it's as bad as some people were making it out like it was going to be, but it's definitely not as good as certain comedies I've seen of recent. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video, and as always, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.